Well, it has been a very busy few days for our team down here in Washington, D.C. I just want to give a quick shout out to producer Kristen Reinax, Tyler McFadden, and to our cameraman Stephen Gelder, who have been working tirelessly to bring you this great coverage that you've been enjoying. Yesterday was the big day. We did the show here in the morning. Then we rebooked over at a polling station. We bumped into Nancy Pelosi, which, guys, I will tell you that story when I'm back at work. But last night, we really wanted to be out with voters. So we went to Ben's Chili Bowl. This is an iconic location in Washington. It is frequented by celebrities, presidents, and the media. The Daily, the podcast, The Daily, and Don Lemon, they were there. And we got a real treat as the co-founder of this institution. Virginia Ali, who is 90 years young, was there. Her husband, Ben, is the Ben of Ben's Bowl, Chili Bowl. And together, they fed everyone from Martin Luther King to Barack Obama. And I had a chance to ask her about her thoughts on the night. Here's what she shared with me. You've seen so much in this city, both celebrations and grief and fighting. What are you expecting tonight on a historic night like tonight? There's a lot of talk of potential, concern for violence. What are you expecting in the city tonight?
I'm simply hoping, I don't know what to expect, but I'm simply hoping that this is going to be a very orderly time this evening, that we're all grown up enough now to recognize when we get the numbers, that the numbers are okay, and whichever one wins, we accept it and move on.
One last question for you, Virginia. What do you reflect on when you think of, Dr. King being here, President-elect Barack Obama being here? Tonight, the country is voting to perhaps elect their first female president, first black female president. You've been here through all of those decades and all of those seasons. What do you think about that?
I think it's time. We've been part of this society for 100 years, for many, many years. It's time. If they're qualified, whomever's qualified, it should not matter what color you are, or your religion, or anything else. If you're qualified and if you care about the people and the country, you should become the president.
Your message to America tonight?
Let's move on, let's come together, let's realize we're all just people. Let's start treating each person and everybody the way we would like to be treated. It doesn't cost any money to be kind. Let's just be kind.
Oh, that is the wisdom of 9 decades of living. It's been really interesting, Lindsey, Kelsey, and Teddy, to be here this morning because this news was official at 5:30 in the morning, just before we went to air. We got the unprocessed reaction from each of our guests as they landed here. Yeah. And, there's the conversations that we had on camera, but then the conversations off camera about them thinking about what this means for me. And one that was really interesting, we talked about this female demographic and where the votes went. And I had Kim Wyman, and I also had Avis Jones DeWeaver, and asking them about how they process. Kim's perspective was like, look, we are a democracy. We can survive anything, and we will be fine. We will get through this. We'll be fine. Avis was talking to me as a mom and said, look, my husband is Guyanese. We had already been looking for second citizenship. We'll stay here in America, but I want to know that there's a place that my sons can go if it gets difficult to live here. Again, those are initial reactions this morning, but that is sort of the unfiltered response as people let it sink in and settle in what the next 4 years could look like for them under this administration.
Yeah, it seems to be the common thread with everybody you spoke with this morning, as you mentioned, that idea of processing all of the information and what this means going forward. I have to say, it was really very cool to see you speak with Virginia in such an iconic place.
Oh, Ben's Chili Bowl. It's legendary.
Ben's Chili Bowl.
Yeah.
And I understand. I was watching on CTV Toronto yesterday. I know Teddy was as well.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the importance of that space and what conversations had happened there, decades ago in some of those booths.
Yeah, the word that came up a lot is they talk about that Ben's Chili Bowl was a safe haven. And I got to tell you, people were coming in off the street. They had a screen up to watch election results. And it was remarkable to watch. You saw people exhale. They kind of relaxed a little bit. We talked about that feeling of anxiety in the city because they had voted, so they were excited about doing the process, but a little unsure how it was going to play out throughout the night. So it was really neat to be there and actually feel what people have been feeling for decades.
Did you have a chili dog?
That's the key question.
I had chili fries. Because, guys, I had a lot of walking, and I didn't want to take a nap.
I bet.
If you liked that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.